morning's newspapers in a moment with the author of The Reign of Lionesses, Carrie Dunn, and with the sports journalist Ben Jacobs. There they are. And of course, the World Cup dominates the front and back pages of the morning's newspapers. The Daily Mirror, the Sunday Mirror rather, leads with the World Cup, and of course their headline, Lioness We Can. Sunday People report that the England captain Millie Bright is urging the team on to glory. Orders from the King, a message to the Lionesses on the front page of the Sunday Mail. Game of Our Lives reads the back page of the Sun. And Come On England, support for the Lionesses on the front page of the Star too. All right, well, Carrie and Ben are with us, and let's get into some of the stories that are making up more column inches within the papers. And we'll start with you, Carrie. This is inside pages of the Telegraph, but it's a story that's being covered quite widely. It's about Prince William not going to the World Cup, president of the FA.
Yes, the quote that they're picking out from his apology for not being there is "Good luck, Lionesses. Sorry we can't be there." And again, lots of people have pointed out that if it was the men in a World Cup final, then the likelihood is that Prince William would be there. And we saw the Culture Secretary, Lucy Fraser, talking to Rob Harris earlier on, saying that Prince William does lots of sport and they saw him at Wimbledon. That's because the Princess of Wales is actually patron of the All England Lawn Tennis Club. So that's why he was at Wimbledon, and he is the president of the FA. So it is a surprise that he's not there. But I kind of wanted to point out the fact that Princess Charlotte is very heavily prominent in this apology, and it reminded me a little bit of Rishi Sunak's statement saying about his daughters being inspired by the Lionesses. And obviously Gianni Infantino, president of FIFA, said earlier in the week about his daughters. Women's sport, women's football isn't just for little girls, it's for everybody. These are prominent men in positions of responsibility, and one would expect them to be stepping up, celebrating this huge occasion, and in the case of Prince William and the Prime Minister, perhaps being in Australia to cheer on the Lionesses.
You're not suggesting they're using their daughters as some kind of shield, are you, Carrie?
I wouldn't do that, but I just think it's very notable that this is happening with all three of those men who have been criticised in recent days. And I just think it's really important to emphasise that, you know, boys can enjoy women's sport, men can enjoy women's sport. Women's sport isn't just for little girls. It's not just to inspire the next generation. It's a great spectacle in itself.
Absolutely, for everyone in society. Well, let's move on to the front of the Star, if we can, Ben, and talk us through this headline here with some famous faces from a movie a while back.
The Star and Isabel Dickinson has been giving us the breakdown of all of the key numbers, and in particular 30 million pints that are going to be drunk over the course of the next 24 hours. And the split is apparently 13 million in pubs themselves and then 17 million pints at home. And in addition to that, a lot of the supermarkets in the UK have sold out of things like bacon bats as well, which is what I'm going to be having once we come off this paper review. And Rishi Sunak will be one of the people in the pubs, no doubt picking up that tab in Richmond for his constituents. And the other thing I thought was interesting about the numbers in terms of who's going to be buying what, who's going to be drinking what, where, is looking ahead to tomorrow. We see two kinds of British people, those that plan and are maybe a bit more honest, and there's a 50% or so surge in those that have said, we're not going to be in tomorrow, we're watching the World Cup final, we want annual leave. And then there's the other kind of Brit who are going to enjoy today and then play it by ear. And this is why we've got a projection that 20% is the increased number in terms of those that are going to call in, either sick in inverted commas or with a hangover tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that cold is definitely going to kick in for some on Monday morning. And of course, Rishi, if he does pick up the tab, will be only drinking Diet Cokes, famously teetotal, our Prime Minister, of course. Let's move on to the Mail now, if we can, Carrie. And this is an examination, a look at the manager, Sarina Wiegman, and described as a straight-talking genius.
It's quite an accolade, isn't it? Yes, profile of Serena Wiegman is absolutely wonderful, and of course her achievements, what she's done with England, but before that with the Netherlands. But what I'm really interested in is Farrah Williams's column on the page opposite, and where she describes her as a worthy successor to Gareth Southgate. And this happens quite a lot in the women's game. If a female coach has some success, she's automatically linked with the men's game, which gives me a little bit of pause for thought, because it's almost like men's sport is a promotion for people who are working in women's sport, when it isn't all the time. It's something that people are very dedicated to, of course. But what I'm interested in is the way Farrah Williams describes Serena Wiegman's American mentality, the fact that the Lionesses expect to win now. And I found this really, really interesting, because it's something that other England players have said to me. Karen Farley, a former Lioness who played in the first time that England got to the Women's World Cup in 1995, she said this to me last summer after the Euro. She said Serena Wiegman has changed the mentality of the England squad. Before, we were honoured to turn up and be part of these occasions, and we did our best, but we never really expected to win. And now that mentality has absolutely changed. Farrah Williams also talks about the people skills of Serena Wiegman, but I think we should also hail the amount of tough decisions she's had to make. When Serena Wiegman came in, she came in after Phil Neville's tenure. She changed the captain. Steph Houghton had been the long-serving England captain, and she's been moved away from the England squad, and she gave the armband to Leah Williamson and then to Millie Bright after Leah Williamson's injury. So yes, Serena Wiegman is a great communicator, has wonderful people skills, a great tactician, but she's not afraid to make tough decisions either.
Yeah, absolutely right. All right, let's keep it moving. I haven't got loads of time left, Ben, but there's a couple of stories I do want to get to. And the first one is this one that's inside The Observer, and it's in other papers too, and Jackie was talking about a little earlier. This is about Mary Earps, my favourite Lioness. Merps, I understand she is called, and how... well, first of all, Nike have not produced a replica shirt yet with her name on. And also this talks about how she had to sort of bounce back. Tell us a little bit about this, the reporting here.
Earps is a fantastic character, and this is a really nice in-depth article showing what she's doing to promote the women's game. She's got over 1 million followers now on social media. As you say, from the Nike perspective, the disappointment is that no goalkeeper shirt has been produced. So fans wanting to buy an Earps shirt can't at the moment. Hopefully that changes after the tournament. There are some production issues about suddenly U-turning and making them available, but maybe win or lose, there'll be that opportunity. But Earps is producing her own line of clothing as a result, and the adversity comes from the fact that in the build-up to the Euros, she didn't think she was going to be selected. In fact, when she was told that she was back in the England fold, she was busy buying curtain poles and thinking about renovating her home, and it was a complete surprise. And her journey, as a consequence, has been incredibly accelerated from there. She's back in the fold. She's the #1 goalkeeper, and I think she's become a voice for the Lionesses positively on and off the field. We remember her dancing on the press table after England won the Euros, and now she'll be looking to use her platform, hopefully as a World Cup winner, to make sure that things like this Nike error of not producing the goalkeeper's shirt don't happen again.
A brilliant goalkeeper. My director just reminded me as well, of course, from Nottingham, so we are cheering her on, Mary Earps. Today, and the rest of the Lionesses. Quick final thought, guys. I just want to go to the Sun and page 4 and 5. Quick spread here. Calls by MPs for all these players to get gongs. Carrie, what do you think?
I certainly think that if you're going to offer gongs, then the entire squad should. And rather than just selecting a couple of them. Yes, I think it would be a rightful accolade to what they've achieved. Of course, there was a big question mark after 1966 World Cup winners, who had gongs, who didn't, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it would be nice to completely evade that issue this time round.
Yeah, and Ben, I suppose you agree with much of that. They should all get them if they're going to be giving them out.
Yeah, as Carrie says, 1966 it dates back to, but also the Euros where only select players got honours. So this time around, win or lose, which is what Pauline Latham, the MP, has said, everybody should be honoured, because the Lionesses, even if they don't win the World Cup, have made a huge impact, and those services to football should be rewarded.
All right, Ben Jacobs, Carrie Dunn, appreciate your time this morning, guys. Enjoy the match later in Come on, Lionesses. Thank you for that. All right, you're watching Sky News Breakfast. Still plenty to come as we build up Prepare and get ready for England playing Spain. Stadium Australia is lit up. The match just a couple of hours away. Stay with us here on Sky News.